What is going on YouTube? Hannah back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at the current coin market cap and doing technical analysis on obviously Litecoin and Bitcoin, and anticipation to all the hype that's going around YouTube right now in regards to potentially seeing another bull run, coins shooting up to potentially $14,000 within Bitcoin, some pretty major plays being said. So I do want to discuss those and cover those and give you guys my opinion. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's episode. So guys, I'm on the current coin market cap right now. You guys can see I did refresh the page. It is all loaded up for the time of making this video. You can see out of the top 10 cryptocurrencies, everything is in green except for Bitcoin and Tether. So we can ignore Tether and focus in on Bitcoin being down only 0.28, really isn't much. You can see that does resist and cause sideways trading. You'll notice Ethereum and the other cryptos are merely starting to retrace back upwards. You're seeing they are getting some volume. Even Litecoin is starting to move up. You saw the big movement within Litecoin as well, and I will discuss that in a second, but for the most part, all the coins do seem to be up. I do know that Dash was taking some pretty big moves a couple of days ago. Not even sure where Dash is on here. It should be higher up, like 15 or something. Dash number 18 had a pretty big move. Now it's down 2%, and some other cryptos are seeing some bigger gains too. Centrality, some of these altcoins that we've really never heard of are up 38%. Very major moves. Sia coin up 21%. Let me know if you guys want me to discuss those cryptocurrencies too, like Cryptarium. Why are they up 11%? Why are they pumping? It's something that I don't mind going into and getting involved with and discussing that with you. But for the most part, the altcoins are starting to, retrace or correct to higher levels, which is honestly a great thing. But more importantly, to move into the cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin and Litecoin, we'll wrap things up with Ethereum and XRP. I would like to discuss with you the possibilities of where these coins are going. So, scrolling through, when you type in Bitcoin on YouTube, you notice a couple of things that pop up on the screen. Some people correct and make inferences as to levels of $14,000. And I wanted to put that in perspective as towards when we could be breaking to $14,000. Now that is a 73% gain, and trying to figure out where that jump came from, one would probably take the mouth. That's probably what they're doing. This right here, that's why they're assuming this. So as you can see right here, I did see some YouTubers discussing a 73% jump up to $14,000. Is this likely? Is it possible? Yes, it's likely. Yes, it's possible, but definitely not right around the corner to be making videos on this right now. So more importantly, when you look at what exactly is happening, you like to take the mouth of whatever downtrend or descending triangle or symmetrical triangle you have, and you put that to the point of breakout. Now this is where they're assuming the start to the top is, which is about a 71 to 73% gain right here. And then when you just transfer this over to the point of breakout, which would be right around here, we could say right here, you'll notice this takes us about 71 to 73% up. If we moved it down to 71, you'll notice that's about $14,000 too, 13.8. So that is a possibility when you look at something like this. I feel like a lot of crypto YouTubers are starting to change their views on where they're seeing the altcoins move to, which is very interesting. Or specifically Bitcoin, where they're viewing Bitcoin. A lot of people had falling wedges, but it's starting to change now into similar to my chartings. Now, what's interesting is they do have this as their falling wedge. This is what they're considering. Now, this is definitely an option, but I consider the bottom support right here to be more of what's happening right now. Now, to draw that out one more time for you, this is where they're considering some sort of falling wedge happening. Now, I mean, it does somewhat hold. It is definitely a possibility to see this right now, and I guess I could leave it up here. There's only a couple points of contact. It's merely just 1, 2, and maybe the third one right now, but there's really not much at the top here. So that's why I don't really use a falling wedge for this example. There's more of the downtrend at the top, but I think that, falls into place as more of a descending or symmetrical triangle. So when looking at that, you can then notice that there's a couple of things to take for example of. We're looking for a support. Because we found the downtrend, we're looking now for supports, and you can see that we have this that comes down here, and basing it off where the triangle broke in the first place, you can see we have either a bottom support at $7,500 or a top support at $8,000. Now when we look at what exactly is happening, you'll notice that that's kind of where we're hanging out right now. We have yet to break below this. We did a couple of days ago, but we shot right back up into it, which pretty much justifies to me that this is a very strong support that doesn't want to be breached. And with that being said, when we consider this now, if we're not using 7,500, or even if we do use that, we merely have consolidation now. So we pretty much have to fill in the rest of this triangle right here. That's what we're shooting for. Now, if I, got rid of that and tried to mimic where the price could potentially go, it would look something like this, maybe. We could hit here, or we could break lower, continue to trade out in here, something along the lines of this. Usually after this major pullback, we're either going to head lower and retest 7,600 before, correcting up to $9,000, or we're going to start to head up to $9,000 any minute now. Now, keep in mind that we are very close to being oversold after now starting to retrace back up. You'll notice we're getting closer to the Fibonacci levels, and we honestly look ready for movement to the upside right now. Now, this is a short-term small rally, so for those who were, seeing charts moving us up to as high as $14,000, that's not going to happen until, I would say, late November of November 25th, if not maybe December 7th. And then if we're not even considering that, you use where we started from, which is all the way down here. If we somehow gravitate towards down there, we could potentially see even higher levels than that if we do manage to break it. But right now, we're tracking this sideways descending triangle right here with this possibility of this uptrend coming into play. But moving on to Litecoin, you'll notice Litecoin has a very similar pattern. We're seeing sideways movement. I think it looks better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin only kind of slowly holding above its support right here. But for the most part, Litecoin is the coin that's been trading sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days now of like zero volume, which blows my mind. It literally sideways trading, no movement, no volume. Usually this is an indicator of a break. It's that simple. And to give you examples of the past where we had sideways trading, you'll notice it's happened numerous times. We've had it here. We've had it here. We've had it here. It happens a lot in this coin. And right after, it doesn't normally just trade sideways like this. This is a beautiful double bottom, by the way. It usually ends with some sort of volume, either a major volume burst to the downside or one to the upside. You can see the volume here shot us bullish to the upside with a major and then pretty much stemmed a rally. And you can see that this is a possibility too, that with this sideways consolidation, it inevitably could get some big injection. But mainly we're having to pay attention to whether or not we break the resistance at 57 or the support at 53. Once one of these are broken, that's where we'll assume we're either going to break to the upside or break to the downside. It's merely just a waiting game right now to see which way it does decide to, break to. So it's definitely a difficult one. We can check out the weekly to get a better approach to this. When you look at Litecoin on the weekly, one can assume that we're going to head up higher, being so low on the RSI, trading at 37, and being so extremely undervalued, being not only rejected from the high-low middle moving averages, but from the Fibonacci levels. It looks like this coin wants to head back up. So honestly, I don't see why in the next couple of weeks we can't get Litecoin back up to 72. I really think this is a stronger investment and definitely a possibility. And if you consider buying at 57 and selling at 72 on Litecoin, I'd like to show you guys the possibility of money to be made in a coin like this. So we go into Litecoin right now. And let's say we want to invest at the price of Litecoin, which was down right now at $57. So we bought at 57. That's where we're trading right now. And we want to put in, let's put in $3,000. So that's equivalent to, let's say, 51.5 tokens. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9293. Okay, so $57 at this current price right now, that's equivalent to $51.93 in terms of how many Litecoins. We'll have almost 52 Litecoins. Now consider that on $3,000 we move up from $57 up to potentially 71, or let's go a little bit higher, 77. We move up to 77. How much profit will that make us? We move up to 77. That just turned $3,000 into $4,000. That's the possibilities that this does hold. So a very, very, very small move from as low as $56 to as high as 77. This little small gap, a little small breach that we are definitely going to be hitting can make $1,000 on your $3,000 investment. Now, once again, I'm no financial advisor, but these are ways that you can make pretty big money off small moves like this. For another example, if we bought at $68 or $67, right? We put $3,000 in at 67. So let's turn this to 67, and we want to put in, $3,000. That gives us an equivalent to 44, I think, 0.9, maybe 44.8, right? So 44.8 Litecoins at $67. You can see this breach right here where we were at 67 and we shot all the way up to 144. Do you know how much that would profit you to 144? That just turned your $3,000 into $6,460. That's a $3,500 profit off a leap that literally took from April 29th, so May 1st, all the way up to June. So in 30 days, you would have profited $3,500, which is pretty big off a $3,000 investment. Now, understand that just as quickly as we rose up, we did tumble just as quickly. So you have to set stop losses and understand that there is a risk in getting involved in these coins. Now, why I think Litecoin is going to head up to its Fibonacci levels is very similar to Ethereum. Notice Ethereum has already headed up to its Fibonacci levels. Now, I do think that this is foreshadowing the possibilities of what Litecoin is going to do. It's merely just going to take a couple of minutes before it does reach that, or sorry, a couple of days before it does reach that. So that's why I kind of like using Ethereum. This does seem like this is the pattern that Litecoin is eventually going to take very soon. It's merely just a waiting game at the moment for us to finally move back up and retest the possibilities of a $77 movement. Lastly, XRP probably, staying sideways right now. Let's see, today's probably going to be the last day we can stay up here. And let's see, this is a huge test right now. So we're either going to be breaking down bearish and falling to a pretty significant loss, potentially setting an all-time low, or we're going to break bullish from here. I'd be very shocked if we break bullish from here, being that this is a critical, resistance right here. So this is definitely a waiting game for those XRP hodlers. But honestly, I think we are going to tumble lower on XRP. Otherwise, that's going to be my 2 cents on the markets, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.